What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the podcast of hate, or whatever the hell we end up calling this podcast. But we all know what we're going to be talking about today. Microsoft Gamescom 2015, and in light of what was shown, I thought it was good. I cannot disagree with it. Microsoft showed up. Where was Nintendo? Where was Sony? I don't know. But before I even entertain answering people's questions or reading the comments and things like that, let's just go over what I thought about the whole thing and things of that nature. And I'm hearing an echo, and that will be myself, so we'll mute that and everything like that. So, first up, let's talk about Quantum Break. Quantum Break is probably the most appealing game that Microsoft showed at Gamescom. Excuse me. Graphics look good. Gameplay looked fun. I was expecting it to be more than just a typical shooter, though. It looks like a just drop and drop cover shooter, more in the same of like Gears of War, where you take cover behind things and pop and stop and shoot like that. And to me, I'm kind of bored about that. And I thought it was going to be something different, a little something more, but the whole time skip mechanic, that looked incredible. How like the whole like map and the level and the atmosphere was all rippling and things like that looked pretty damn good. Remedy, for anybody that doesn't know, also created Alan Wake and Max Payne, and they are a top tier developer. And while I fully expect the game to be on PC sooner or later, somewhere down the line, that's not to say this game is going to be incredible and a sick game nonetheless. Now, as far as the live action TV series goes, I could really care less about that. I'm in games. I watch sports. I really don't care about TV. So, Alan Wake, definitely a game to look forward to. Though I kind of thought it was going to be something different. Not exactly disappointed, and in the end, I'm kind of impressed. Now, we had Halo Wars 2, which was a big surprise. I never played the first one, but this one is made by Creative Assembly, the creators of Total Crack, aka Total War. And if you know anything about me, then you'll know I'm a crackhead and a crack fiend for Total War. My friend, she visited me from Texas. I had to uninstall Total War because I know how much that game can consume my life. It's like Killzone 4190 in Civilization, which we called Nerdicalization. That dude was just putting in like 60 hours a week playing that game. It was pretty damn ridiculous. And yeah, that's what strategy games can do to you. Now, the game is coming to both Xbox One and PC, so that is a huge plus, and that is what kept me from the original game, was that it was a RTS on a console. And to me, RTS on console, RTS with dual analog, that doesn't work. But maybe 343 Studios is going to implement some sort of Kinect controls, or going to implement mouse and keyboard, because, you know, Phil Spencer and everybody, they're talking about, they're talking about implementing mouse and keyboard support with the Xbox One. So if it gets mouse and keyboard support, I mean, the system's got 8 gigs of RAM, so it's not like last generation where we're going to be hog-tied and bogged down with requirements to run RTS and things of that nature. The game should run pretty well on the Xbox One. It's just the fact that, is it going to use a mouse and keyboard, or is it going to use a controller and Kinect? Regardless of which, because it's made by Creative Assembly, the creators of Total Crack, I will be playing the game on PC, and I will have no issues doing that. Now, Halo 5 Guardians, I mean, nothing really needs to be said about Halo 5 other than that it's Halo. Halo is Halo, and Halo is good. For anybody that doesn't like Halo, then, well, you don't like Halo. For anybody that likes Halo, it's Halo. And if I'm going to buy an Xbox One, then Halo 5 is going to be that game that makes me buy one. I've played through all the games. I've dominated in the neighborhood. I've dominated at the college campuses. I've dominated online. And let's be serious, had the Master Chief Collection worked and me and my friends went out and bought an Xbox One, we'd be terrorizing all of you clowns, once again proving that most of you Xbox fanboys don't play games. It is what it is. You can watch my old gameplay videos with Halo. I was a beast, a certified beast. There is no question about that. And if anyone wants to prove it, well, maybe in the future we could play some games together. The only real question about Halo 5 is, how good is the game going to be? We know how good it's going to be. I mean, it's going to be a good game, but is it going to be an amazing game or a good game? And the other question we can ask is, will it come to PC? Now, Forza 6, I mean, Forza, however the hell you pronounce it, it's pretty much become the yearly Madden of racing games. Every other year with Horizon or the main series, whatever you want to call it. And that's not to say that's a bad thing, but the games do come out. They do come out with improvements. If you're into racing games, then Forza probably is the #1 racing franchise to buy. For me, I'm not really into racing games, so whether this game is amazing or not really doesn't affect me because I'm not going to buy it one way or another. I can't even remember. I can't even remember the last racing game I bought. It might be F-Zero GX on the GameCube. That might have been the last racing game I ever bought. So again, if you're like me and you really don't care for racing games, then you're not going to care for it. If you're like people that love racing games, then hey, regardless of what you think about the Forza series has well since lapped Gran Turismo, and at this point, I really don't think anybody can argue anything about that. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Yeah, we all know it's coming to PC and the PlayStation 4 later, but let's not discredit that the Xbox One is in fact getting the game first, and I thoroughly enjoyed the reboot of Tomb Raider, and this looks like it's going to be another hit. The game looks good. The game looks brutal. The game looks violent. I mean, went from being a Tomb Raider to a certified beast like Wonder Woman in the woods and the forests and the jungles and things like that. It's really ridiculous how OP she is now with combat, but hey, it is what it is. It's a video game. It seems like they're also, how do I say this? Implementing stealth elements as well as direct approach elements. So, like they assess Human Revolution, you can approach the game subtly and sophisticated like I do, or you can run in guns a-blazing like Rev and just blow everybody the hell up, and you can play the game that way. So it is what it is. Game looks good. Game is going to be a hit. It's going to be a bona fide hit. The only thing preventing me and somebody like me from going out and buying an Xbox One to go and play the game will, it's going to be 30 frames per second on console. We know the PC version's coming out later. It's going to be 60 frames. So, hey, what can you say? The 980 Ti wins out pretty much all the time. Next up, they revealed Dark Souls 3. Now, I like Dark Souls, don't get me wrong, people, but this is now the third game in the franchise. Number 4 if you're going to count Bloodborne. And after this one, I think it's time to take a break. The game doesn't look to have any sort of significant graphical improvements, but hey, it's Dark Souls, and you play this game for what it is to offer and the unique experience it offers, and not the graphics. But one thing I can also say, that this game was also revealed to be releasing on Steam. So once again, I'll be skipping out on the console version and playing the 60 frames per second PC version. What did they have next? We had Scalebound. Scalebound is a game I want to talk about. One, because, hold on, before we even get to that, first off, Hideki Kamiya needs to get off the stage. I understand he created the game, he's the producer, designer, whatever, the head honcho, but nothing against Japanese people. But if you can't speak English properly, get off the stage. Get off the stage. All you're doing is detracting from the game. He made the game sound and seem so boring. And before I get any hateful comments on that, I'd say the same thing if I was a Japanese person and an American was speaking to me with broken and butchered Japanese. Get a native language speaker to speak to the people on the stage. I'm sorry, just do it. Now, the first thing that caught me off guard with Scalebound was, why the hell was the main character wearing Beats by Dre headphones in a medieval setting? I don't get it. I don't get it. I mean, I'm sure this game will turn out at least decent, but like Horizon, Guerrilla Games RPG, this game just seems to have an identity crisis. It tries to jam too many things into one. Let me get my drink. I'm sorry. Like Horizon, right? We have a medieval setting, a girl dressed in like furs and using a bow and arrow fighting mechanized transformers. And in this game, we have a guy with Beats by Dre fighting people when he has a giant dragon and then killing things and they burst into pieces looking like little red rupees from a Zelda game? I don't get it. But hey, it's Kamiya. Play Bayonetta. You'll know that he's kind of off-putting weird. Furthermore, the main draw of a JRPG is the story. And nothing of the story was presented in the debut of this game. Now, maybe it's not a JRPG. Maybe it's an action RPG, or maybe it's just an adventure game. But I was under the impression that it was a JRPG. And before anybody goes off all crazy, Quantum Break presented the flow of its story very nicely. So I don't want to hear any excuses about how, oh, Scalebound didn't, or it didn't need to, or it doesn't have to. Now, the 4-player co-op sounds good and all, but the game just doesn't seem to interest me. I'm sorry. It really doesn't. I mean, I'm going to be more into a game like Dragon Quest XI, which is also funny because you have the Xbox contingent saying that they're not into Japanese games. They're not into the whole Japanese RPG. It's all about The Witcher. It's all about Mass Effect and Elder Scrolls. And yet, guarantee you, those same people will be hyping up this game despite what they said about another game in the same genre. Now, as far as Crackdown goes, I have never played Crackdown 1. I have never played Crackdown 2. Probably and won't play Crackdown 3. At least I don't have plans to play it. But the complete destructible environment looks pretty damn impressive. I can't lie. It looks pretty damn awesome. But the complete destructible environment is being powered by the Cloud. Yeah, you heard me, people. The Cloud, that mythological fairy Neverland $12,000 PC Titan Dragon beast in the sky that we still have not seen demonstrated, even though it was said to be demonstrated with Titanfall. We all know the PC version was better, 792p. So it'll be interesting to see if this game actually can use the cloud computing, if it will actually use it to power these destructible environments and everything, because let's be serious, the cloud is as mythological as a $12,000 PC. To me, it does not exist. I'm tired of hearing about DirectX 12. I'm tired of hearing about the cloud. I'm tired of hearing about these unlocked potentials and the eSRAM and the extra CPU cores. Show me results. That's all I want to see. You know what the difference between results and potential is? Potential is results untapped. The cloud is real. Beautiful clouds. I hear you. So, Killer Instinct. Game is coming to PC. The game will have cross-platform play with the PC. All existing controllers and fight sticks will work with the PC. All content with the Xbox One owners that they have right now will transfer to the PC, which means that Iron Wolf will have zero, I repeat, zero, ZERO, reasons, excuses, and damage control to duck me, avoid me, and not play me like he's been doing in Street Fighter. He will have no choice but to play me. But we all know, these Xbox fanboys, they don't play games. And the addition of Rash, you know, I like Zip better, but whatever the hell their names are, I can't remember. But the addition of Rash and Battletoads pretty cool. I mean, I don't believe that the game has any kind of arcade mode or story mode, so doesn't make a difference. A guest fighter is a guest fighter. Link was in Soul Calibur. He didn't affect the story, so more fighters the better. But I will play the game, and Iron Wolf probably still won't play me because it is what it is. Xbox fanboys, at least here on YouTube, don't play games. Now, Homefront Revolution. Never played the first one. I mean, this has like a little Revolution Uprising guerrilla warfare style type of gameplay. Cooperative, check. Multiplayer, check. Generic guns, check. Generic characters and story, check. Gray dull atmosphere, check. I'm like, maybe I'm shootered out, but at least I'm into Halo and I want to play Halo 5, but this game right here, it's not interesting to me. I'm not really buying it at all, to be honest. I'm just not feeling it. It just seems drab and dreary and plain and ordinary. I'm not interested in it at all. Other things to note about for the Gamescom, I hear that Phil Spencer announced that City Skylines will be coming to the Xbox One, and City Skylines is an amazing game. SimCity is an amazing game. City Skylines, which I nicknamed the City of Hate, Cracklines, is an amazing game, and hopefully that means that they will implement mouse and keyboard for the Xbox One, and this will be a better sign that is coming, because to play a game like this, you will need one to play it. Again, unless I'm gonna be doing some kind of crazy fancy Kinect control. But yeah, if you haven't played the game on the PC, you're in for a real treat playing it on the consoles, as long as it, controls properly. I mean, I had the Super Nintendo version of SimCity. It was okay. I mean, it wasn't as good as the PC version, but the game nonetheless is an amazing game, and hopefully it allows mods and things like that too, so be on the lookout for that. As far as backwards compatibility, I got to give props to Microsoft. I mean, me personally, I don't care about it, but then again, I realize that my Xbox 360 red ringed and broke, and if I were to go out and buy an Xbox One, I could play my older games, my older titles. I don't have to go out and replace the original Xbox 360, so that's pretty cool. Then you have to realize that it's actually pretty good, because games like Just Cause 3 are coming with Just Cause 2. Fallout 4 is coming out with Fallout 3. Gears of War Ultimate is coming with Gears of War 2, 3, and Judgment. So, Microsoft is putting in work. Sony obviously doesn't have that luxury because they want the PS3 and the cell processor, so going to backwards compatibility through software or emulation is going to be a nightmarish task. So I really don't see that happening, which is probably why they went on PlayStation Now. But overall, I like the Microsoft Gamescom. The Gamescom, in my opinion, was better than their E3. Much better than their E3. Now, you can look at games like Tomb Raider and Killer Instinct and, Dark Souls 3, Rise of the Tomb Raider, City Skylines. They're not exclusives. But at this point, you're starting to see that the Xbox One is getting the advantage that the 360 had over the PlayStation 3. Better multiplats. And by better multiplats, I mean not necessarily having the overall better performance or graphics or anything, but let's look at the multiplats here, people. Rise, you can't play it on PlayStation. Dead frame rate, you can't play it on PlayStation. Titanfall, you can't play it on PlayStation. Ori and the Blind Forest, you can't play it on PlayStation. City Skylines, you can't play it on PlayStation. There are a lot of multiplat games on the PC and the Xbox One that you can't play on PlayStation. So by default, the better multiplats go to the Xbox One. Now, if you're like me and you have a PC, well, then I guess that, that advantage really isn't anything to you because you just play the games on the PC. But the Xbox One, while having a 9-month drought of pretty much no exclusives, does in fact get the better multiplats because it gets the games that are multiplat between PC and, the Xbox One that the PlayStation 4 just doesn't get. Just like last generation, when the 360 was getting games like Mass Effect 1 early on, the Bioshock games early on, Left 4 Dead, and so forth. Yeah, dead frame rate. I do like calling that game dead frame rate because that's exactly what it is. So, City Skylines coming to PlayStation 4. Oh, well. So much for that, Xbox fans, but now everybody gets to enjoy City Skylines, and that game is freaking epic. Stevie Wonder's frame rate is dead. Rip PlayStation 4. So I guess now is the time to take questions and read the comment section and see the trolling and the hating and everything else. Let's see, the Xbox fans, they're not really going to play City Skylines, at least the ones here on YouTube. I really feel like the guys on the PlayStation will be more into that because, PlayStation, I believe PlayStation fans are really more into kind of more niche and indie titles, to be honest, as opposed to the Xbox One fans. What's locked at 30 on PC? Yeah, I mean, what can you say? I love you, Bond. The Xbox One isn't a bad system, really. And by judging by Gamescom, right, you can see plain as day just how far the Wii U is behind the competition in the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One. Sony and Microsoft are duking it out, and Nintendo is nowhere to be found. Is that my mom in the picture? Oh man. PlayStation is getting a lot of JRPGs. They're getting Dragon Quest 11, and well, I'll definitely get the DS version because I want all of them on the DS. I want 8 to be localized. I want 7 to be localized. I want 11 to be localized. If I ever got a PlayStation 4, I'll definitely get Dragon Quest 11 for it. Japanese horrible at porting to the PC. There have been some good ports before. I mean, recommended settings, I believe, for the Metal Gear Solid 5 game is only a 760. Or is that minimum? I don't know, but bottom line is they're not really demanding. No, I have not played The Binding of Isaac. How do I feel about the Nintendo NX? It will fail. There is nothing Nintendo can do to repair the damage that they've done to themselves with the Wii and the Wii U. The Wii, at the end of its life cycle, really had nothing but 4 games and Skyward Sword and the trinity of Operation Rainfall games for the last 2 years of its life. And then you had the Wii U come out, and that system really still doesn't have games. So, yeah, they pretty much killed consumer confidence right there. Tales games coming to the PC. I do enjoy Tales games, but some of them are kind of some of them are and other of them are like Tales of Symphonia and really good. Lost Odyssey was a pretty good game. The Last Remnant was an okay game. The only problem with the JRPGs on the 360 were a lot of them were plagued by performance issues. I don't know why that was, but it is what it is. And the funny thing is about a lot of guys hating on Dragon Quest XI not coming to the Xbox One is Akira Toriyama, or how the hell you pronounce him, Toriyama, the dude that created Dragon Ball, the artist behind that. He's the guy that does the artwork for Chrono Trigger. He's the guy that does the artwork for Dragon Quest, and he's the guy that did the artwork for Blue Dragon. You know, the same Blue Dragon that all these Xbox fanboys said was a good game. Yet they enjoyed that art style, but they're not big fans of the old art style. Text message of damn, lost my train of thought. Dragon Quest 11. Yeah, Perfect Dark is indefinitely in need of a reboot. Crackdown 3 overall. I mean, I can see how people would like it, but I'm not a big fan of it. Infinite Undiscovery. Not only did that game have the worst name of all time, I was not a fan of it. Persona 5. If I'm really interested in it, I could probably get it for the PlayStation 3. Don't know if I'll get it for the 4. Why haven't I exposed Zaire in a while? Because Zaire, Mooch, Tim Dog, Crap Gamer, and Slow Stopper, they expose themselves every time they get on camera, every time they do a podcast. Realize this, people. You have a group of 30-year-old men, probably some in their 40s. Some might even have kids that damage control over a company. Listen, I'm all for criticism and handing out praise and giving out dues and things like that, but every once in a while is okay. But when it's day to day, week to week, month to month, year to year, you have a problem. You do. You shouldn't be defending corporations unless they're paying you to do so. Yeah, I did mention Xenoblade Chronicles. That was a Operation Rainfall game. A new Jet Force Gemini would be epic. But the media bias. See, that's the whole thing with the media bias, right? We went through the whole Sony disappointment timeline last generation, right? The whole epic timeline of destruction. And then we even had Gabe Newell come out and said the PlayStation 3 was a waste of time. No, I am not in my 30s. Do I look like I'm 30? I look young, dog. I look beautiful. Be jealous. But damn, lost my train of thought now. Completely forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, I'll just borrow a Wii U to play Xenoblade Chronicles X because all my friends, just like the Wii, their Wii U is collecting dust. Am I going to get Dark Souls 3? Of course I'm going to get Dark Souls 3. There are no hopes for the Nintendo NX. It's dead on arrival. 5 good reasons to buy a PlayStation 4. It gets more Japanese games than the Xbox One. It gets all the main multiplayer releases. There you go. You only need two. In reality, the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 basically are pretty much the same console. Oh, looks like Nick's channel gets that block button. First person to be blocked in stream. Congratulations. Did I play Bloodborne? I played it at a friend's house. It was a good game. Half-Life, good game. I'll trade you a Wii U for my 560s. I will do that trade. Played Alan Wake? Yes, I did. I already talked about Scalebound. It doesn't look interesting to me. I think Star Fox Zero looks kind of boring. Oh, God. People are already bugging me about the Corporate Slave of the Year awards here, people. That's how you know things are getting wild. I might have to make, like a little power rankings for Corporate Slave of the Year award, and we know that people like Twilight Bites, Shadow Fox Infinite, and the whole Big Gamers Small Talk crew, they're right at the top of the list right there. PS3 gets better multiplats, but the Xbox One gets more multiplats, remember. Yeah, Nintendo fanboys aren't even yeah, they're pretty disappointed too. Remember all those years I've been criticizing the Wii U and everybody's calling me a hater, and now all these same people that were hating on me are now criticizing the Wii U, calling themselves real Nintendo gamers. Yeah, it's funny how it happens. What's even more funny is that there have been more amiibos sold than actual Wii U's. That to me is crazy. What do I think about game chat for online gaming? It's a necessity. Konami is just, oh my god. 970 Super Clock is a very good card, unless your name is Hard 8 and you need like 3 Titans and SLI. Yes, but King McD, remember, Dead Frame Rate, Rise, Titanfall, or In the Blind Forest, all those games aren't on the PlayStation 4, and those games are multiplayer. You are right. I cannot believe Microsoft didn't announce anything new at this whole conference thing, whatever. That was kind of disappointing because, there was really nothing new. Only things you already knew about. It was kind of like an extension of E3. And the other disappointing thing is, outside of Halo and probably a Forza coming out at the end of this year, there are no exclusives for the Xbox One. I have no thoughts on Windows 10. I haven't even looked into it yet. Sega winning back their fans. I don't think there's any Sega fans left to win back at this point. RXL exposing one step? Nah. I prefer Android over iOS. 5 solid good facts to get a PlayStation 4. 5 solid opinions, you mean? I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want me to say. If you're asking, then you're not interested. You don't need to buy one, period. Yeah, the whole WoW defense video. Or the condolences video, I'm sorry. People are sensitive. What can you say? The world is made of nerf. Hard 8. This guy BG is playing a kiddie-ass Yu-Gi-Oh card game, and I am bred. What the F is going on? I didn't know BG played children's card games. And no, I cannot unblock Nick's channel. And that just means you can get blocked too for asking for an unblock. God, I love blocking people. It's so fun. It's so fun. Plenty of reasons to get a PlayStation 4. This is true. This is coming from Hard 8. I mean, he bought like 30 of them. Open lobbies for Street Fighter 5? Hell yeah. I'm going to do that for Street Fighter 4 once I'm done The Witcher 3, if that ever happens. Skype with Marquise. Yeah, Marquise has problems. Let's just say that. What the F is going on, BG? Yeah, you're a little late. We already talked about Quantum Break. That was the first thing I talked about. Rewind to the beginning. Do you think Sony will ever listen to their fans? I don't know. They listen to the developers, which is why the PlayStation 4 was so radically different from the PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3. Fat gamers in the chat. He must have me blocked because I can't see him. I'm about 180 hours into The Witcher 3. I've done every treasure hunt, every Witcher hunt, every secondary mission I've gotten so far outside of the Gwent card games because I don't play Gwent. I'm sorry, I just don't. Do you think Sony will ever get better with PSN? The thing about PSN is I think they took the PSN on PlayStation 3 and just patchworked it in to be on PlayStation 4. Instead of what really needed to happen was they needed to either break the PSN down and rebuild it from the ground up or rebuild something completely different from the ground up. Favorite PC game mods? Counter-Strike, Day of Defeat. What's so good about The Witcher 3? The combat sucks. Maybe you just suck at the combat. Actually learn to use the different kinds of spells and abilities and dashing and ducking and dodging instead of just hitting XXXX, roll, XXXX, roll. Rip Meek Mill. Drake killed that guy, which is good. I'm glad Drake killed him because for some dumb reason, women, when I go out, tell me I look a lot like Drake. So the more profound and higher position Drake is in on this world, the higher position Drake is in life benefits me. The 980 Ti is good. The 2500K is showing its age. I am ready for 16 gigs of RAM and Skylake. Oh man, Ronald Dorsey and Hard 8 Times going at it. The gloves is off. They're going at it like Meek Mills and Drake. What games do you want to see tomorrow by Sony? See, that's the thing. I don't want to see anything by Sony because I don't like Sony games. I don't like Sony developers. I don't like Sony in-house games. I just don't. The thing I've liked about Sony is that they're able to secure good third-party support, good Japanese support, and good third-party exclusives. I have never been a fan of any of their in-house games, really. Just haven't been. Fat, go back to watching hentai. No mods on Witcher 3. 4K probably won't be standard next generation either. I really don't even know about 1440p with the 980 Ti. I assume it does, but I'm playing on 1080p. I don't have a 480p, a 4K or 1440p monitor. What is Fat Gamer saying? Because I can't see his comments because he has me blocked. So I just copy and paste what he's saying for me. What's going on, Tavares? I have not upgraded to Windows 10. I do not like Naughty Dog. I guarantee you the Troll Enix conference will not have localizations of Dragon Quest 7, 8, or 11 coming to the US. I hope it does. I don't play sports games. You do background checks? I'm fat. I thought you didn't watch Bond. Somebody copy paste what Fat Gamer's saying and Social Reject Brothers is saying so I can read what they're saying. Anybody on my Steam, paste it to me. Do something. Come on, let me hear what they're saying. How come Gamescom is better than E3 when no new exclusives were announced? Because games like Scalebound, Quantum Break, and things like that weren't even shown at E3. They're just mentioned. Yeah, unlike Fat Gamer and Super Brothers, that's a real woman in my picture, a real life one, not one of those teenage, elementary school, underage Japanese children. Sorry, it is what it is. I can't lie. When is the Square Enix conference? I don't know. Somebody let me know because I'm curious about that too. I would love to see more. Damn, I don't even remember what the new Deus Ex is called. Best of Both Worlds is funny as hell because again, it's two social rejects, two little butt buddy boyfriends talking about how they don't care and they don't give a damn, yet they talk about wanting to kill people, break people's necks, and stomp them out in the street. Yet they don't care, and the internet isn't serious. No, it's not Fat Gamer. Everybody always asks me, Bond, is that your girl? They call me Black Bond for a reason. That's all you need to know. Mankind Divided, that's what it's called. I can't wait for that game. Don't like Shadow of the Colossus, didn't even really play it. I don't like Sony in-house games. It is what it is. Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm actually more interested in the Final Fantasy 12 remake because I didn't get a lot of playtime with that game because it came out when I was in college and really couldn't immerse myself into the game. All right, Bruce Kent, if you post that comment one more time, you will be banished to the Shadow Realm with BG. I guess Black Woman finally likes. Yep. Goodbye, Bruce Kent. You were warned. Bye bye. Steam name is X Black Bomb X. Same as Skype, same as pretty much everything else. 980 Ti is incredible. Yeah, let me block this fake Super Brothers account. You really have no life when you're coming to a game stream to troll. Don't you have anything better to do? I mean, even play a game? Oh, wait. My bad. You clowns on YouTube don't play games. I hear there's a spiritual successor to Vagrant Story coming. That would be good. Mr. T is just a blinded fool, unfortunately. He doesn't know what gimmicks are. The gamepad is a gimmick because Nintendo doesn't use it. Yeah, it comes with every console, but Nintendo doesn't use it. Yeah, I own the last story. Eh. Dragon Quest 11 going to Nintendo NX. That's a good thing. Maybe it can get it out of the gate in Japan. No, Nintendo fanboys should be embarrassed. If you're supporting that company and you're a diehard, you should be embarrassed. And yes, I am getting Mirror's Edge 2. Mirror's Edge 1 was amazing. Yeah, unlike Baron, I played Skyward Sword. Don't really care about Mother or Earthbound, whatever you call it. Not my style of game. What I think of the Gamescom conference? I thought it was good. No, none of those games make one again Xbox. Nothing but Halo 5. I don't really pay attention to Mr. T because, again, dude is just a blinded Nintendo fanboy. I will definitely get the handheld version of Dragon Quest 11 because I want them to localize 7, 8, and 11 so that way I can have all the games on one console or on the handhelds or however the hell you want to paraphrase that. Don't need to roast Shadow Fox Infinite because that guy's a moron. The NX will be a failure. It's already doomed. Yo, Hard 8, start posting what Fat Gamer is saying into Skype so I can see what he's saying. Because he's probably got me blocked. I can't see it. Oh shit! Original Dogman, John Castro, a YouTube OG. Yeah, if you're not subbed to the original Dogman, you need to sub the original Dogman. If you like videos like The Great Exposure, you like seeing people get clowned, or you like seeing people get called out on their bull crap, like we did back in the good old days in 2009, 2010. You need to sub the original dog fan. You need to sub him. It's a shame that he left and came back and he doesn't have his following anymore, but YouTube, YouTube, YouTube. You need to sub the original dog man. Mr. Red Fox, another clown. What games do I have on the 3DS? A bunch of Mega Man games, a bunch of JRPGs, and a bunch of strategy games. I do not know why you were talking about that man Jack move laying on his bed with a mic in his mouth. Nope, didn't play a new Godzilla. Don't play Naughty Dog games because, again, I don't play games at 30 frames per second. Tomb Raider on PC is 60 frames per second. Any advice on starting a PC? Get a PC, download Steam. It's not that hard. The truth be told, show. Ah, my original bitch. I wish he'd come back. I had to leave him alone after a while because, a lot of people think that I never made fun of the PlayStation fanboys. The term drone was coined by me for the PlayStation fanboys, and I pretty much eradicated them and made them extinct. Have I played Metroid Prime? Yeah, all three of them. Mooch is smart. Yeah, okay. Who is the Trey Brotherhood in MLD? That's a long story I'd have to make a video about. I can masturbate at 60 frames per second. Wow. Yeah, I got 160 doing it by myself, not multiple channels pulling together. Not to mention, it's only my second episode or a second video or a second podcast or whatever the hell you want to call it. Nope, never heard of the the Ultima for Quest of the Avatar. It's the original Dogman John Castro. That's who you need to look for. I will not play a game at 30 frames per second, period. Unless it's a strategy game or turn based, I will not play at 30 games per can't speak tonight. See, now you got me talking in 30 frames per second. I really don't care about Modern War Negro. I mean, he's okay. I don't care for him positively or negatively. He entertains me, and that is what it is. Demon Souls is one of the most amazing games ever created. A massively multiplayer online Pokemon RPG would be amazing. No, that would be your little sister, not my mom. Never played Dragon's Dogma. Will never play that crap known as Kingdom Hearts. That'll never happen. Kingdom Hearts, I mean, come on, people. I don't care. Mostly, what do I hang out ugly girls? I don't. No disrespect at all, John Castro. You know how I roll. We're not going to talk about cops versus black people. We're not going to talk about social issues. We do not play at 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second is the devil. Well, Phantasy Star Online 2 did come to the States and then it got rescinded. I don't know. It was there and then it was gone. Haven't played Catherine. Tales series is good. Fantasia, Symphonia, Tales of Destiny, all good games. Yeah, I don't understand Kingdom Hearts either. I mean, it's like Disney characters and stuff. How I came to YouTube, me and General MLD used to post on the GameSpot System Wars forum. Then he came to YouTube, and I'm like, hey, if MLD transferred from System Wars over to YouTube, I can do it too. That's pretty much how I came. Neo GameSpark actually came to Six Flags in Jersey. I was going to meet up with him and some friends, but unfortunately, I had some family business and a family cookout to attend to. I do own Legend of Dragoon. Why is Type Zero so demanding on the PC? Probably because of that awful motion blur that probably murders every computer on the planet because it's just obnoxious. I'm a dude, bro. Yeah, definitely not a dude, bro. But Kingdom Hearts is Disney children characters. No offense. I don't hate AMD. I just wish they would do better. Why I'm disgusted with them? Well, go back to old videos. Look at my 6950s and the massive problems I have with Crossfire. I have $4 donated to my Patreon. Yeah, he's pretty tall, but he's not tall like I am. Did I ever play that one dude in Street Fighter? No, I did not, because the dude is a coward. I borrowed not one, but two Xbox 360s, and this clown still wouldn't play me. And speaking of frauds and clowns, we had that clown, Real Gamer 27. Funny how he calls himself Real Gamer 27. He'll tell us about his upbringing, his struggles in the hood, his wife, his marriage, his two kids. And yet, when you ask him for his gamer tag or his PSN ID or his Steam account, this dude acts like you're asking for his social security number or his credit card information. Like Hard8 said in that video, if people want to hide their gamer tag from you, they're frauds, and you already know why. Your gamer tag is not personal information. All it does is show what games you play. It's no different than your SoundCloud or your iTunes sharing that what music you listen to and what music you like to play. It tells nothing about you personally other than the games that you play. So why would you want to hide it? And yeah, like Castro said, I'm willing to give you a free game and you still don't want to play. Do I ever get tired of multiplats? I don't know. Why don't you ask the Xbox fanboys who have had nothing but multiplats for the last 9 months? Why don't you ask PlayStation 4 gamers who've had nothing but remasters how they like multiplats? Pretty much everybody's playing multiplats outside of Wii U owners because, well, they're playing nothing. Ooh, 30 frames per second or 65 field of view. Ooh, now that's a question. God damn. Wow. Because 30 frames per second is not playable. But a field of view of 65? Holy crap. Oh, man. That's a tough one. I couldn't answer that. Oh my God. Ain't no match for the nigga Dick Jacks. Multiple ground pound. Yeah, over 90% of games are multiplats, and that's exactly why the Wii U is garbage, because the Wii U is missing out on over 90% of games. You're playing new games on the PlayStation 4. Yeah, new games that are multiplat. Survival horror is not dead, at least on the PC. PS4 is dry, yeah. God damn, field of view at 65 or 30 frames per second. Yeah, I gotta make a video on that. I'm not a fan of gaming laptops. What's your Steam collection up to, Bond? Nothing right now because I'm playing The Witcher 3 on GOG. Never really played an Oddworld game. Plenty of friends have owned them. Not a big fan of them. Not a big fan of Rayman. Mega Man will make a good third person shooter. No, no, and no. No Mega Man in third person, please. Not a fan of Mega Man Legends. God, freaking amiibos. Come on, people. Bond, where the hell are all your haters? I weeded them out, man. They're all gone. They're all at the block party, hanging out, having fun. What multiplayer came out for the Wii U this year? Never watched them, Mastermind. Don't care about Cloud. He means dry as in games you couldn't find on a PC or exclusives and things like that. Not dry as in dry completely. I talk to Dub Central all the time. I watch his channel. Street Fighter 5 is looking good. Battlefront 3, listen, I will not trust DICE with any game. After Battlefield 4, no. I gotta see it released and working for at least a week before I even buy it. Do you like any fucking game? 180 hours into The Witcher 3? I guess I like that. I don't know. Is Mega Man's a kid game? Is Mega Man a kid's game? Is the mass genocide of humanity and racist and segregation, is that a kid's game? I don't know. You tell me. When a bad guy decides to wipe out 90% of the human population on a human genocide, on a German Nazi like Holocaust, over racism and segregation, discrimination, you tell me if that's a kid's game. The only animes I watch are sports right now. And the only anime I'm watching right now is Diamond No Ace. Yeah, I believe it'll take me about 300 hours to beat The Witcher 3 back to forth, front to finish, from what they're telling me. Witcher 3 sucks. Yeah, okay. Go back to your casual console games, clown. Don't care for Star Ocean 5. Can't stand the art style. I have watched Death Note. Death Note is very good. Because sports animes are awesome. And if you've played sports in the real life, then you can relate to the actual sports anime. As long as they're like legit ones and not based upon superpowers like the Prince of Tennis. How do you have time to play games and still clock in 160 hours? Witcher 3 is the only game I've been playing. I have not touched any other games since City Skylines. Favorite SNES game would be Final Fantasy VI. Outlaw Star, back in the Toonami days, it was good. How many games casual if you play as multiplats and all there is on the... Dude, learn to type a coherent sentence, please. And in fact, since you can't type a coherent sentence, you can join the block party. I have watched Attack on Titan with friends. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's good, but it's not like the epic, legendary show that people claim it to be. Konami's working conditions, modern day slavery. Xenogears or FF6? Ooh, that's a tough one because Xenogears is my favorite PlayStation 1 JRPG. Ooh. Man, 30 frames or 65 field of view and FF6 versus Xenogears. These are tough questions right here. Can't lie. Ponies have been enjoying remastered garbage, and what have you been enjoying, Xbox One fanboy? Are you ready for the Gears of War on Ultimate Collection? Are you ready for the Gears of War Remastered Edition? I don't play Destiny. That game's garbage. And yeah, that game probably also has a field of view of 65. Most overrated Nintendo game of all time. Huh. That's a good question. I'd have to say Twilight Princess or Skyward Sword. Been flagged plenty of times. Developers have to work in bathrooms and closets. Are you kidding me? And hear all these people say that Western developers are greedy and disrespectful to their employees and everything. 970 is a good card. I never heard of a 970 Ti though. Oh, the PlayStation 4 is dominating because it's cheaper and it has more games. Yeah, of course I'll play Killer Instinct when it comes to the PC, but you know who won't play me? Iron Wolf. All right, dog man, take it easy. I'm about to be out of this here soon too, because I want to get back on The Witcher 3. Yeah, Kuroko no Basket Fairy Powers exposed. It did kind of get ridiculous towards the end with Kurosaki Daiichi, with Midorima's threes. Aomin, I wasn't disappointed with Aomin. That was more of an exaggeration. But then dudes just started doing like ridiculous things like lightning dribble and Emperor Eye. I'm like, okay, enough's enough. When will I stream to Twitch? Not sure. You don't want to watch me just running around The Witcher 3. We'll put it to you that way. Favorite Dreamcast RPG? Skies of Arcadia? Come on now, man. What kind of question was that? I've already had videos of my gaming setup tour. I've read the extra manga, and that one Dwight Howard looking motherfucker. Oh man, he's pretty much owning them right now. Favorite anime of all time? Well, my favorite five would be Hajime no Ippo, Kuroko no Basketball, One Outs, um, Diamond No Ace, Death Note, and Haiku is kind of growing on me. Don't care for Final Fantasy X2. Don't care for Shin Megami Tensei Cross Fire Emblem. Say, well, could they do to improve overall? They could start by localizing Phantasy Star Online 2. Of course, I would close my channel, but that would never happen because that guy sucks. Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, that show makes me laugh. But I'm going to wrap this one up, guys, because I want to play a little bit of The Witcher 3 for about an hour and then head to bed. So you guys take it easy. I'll catch you later.